Oh, where do I start? Right, okay. It's a long story in my life. Basically, the spiritual work came to me as a child, and unfortunately I didn't understand what was going on, and my parents were very, very earthy, so I really didn't have any explanation of what was actually happening, what was going on, and it wasn't till I got to around about 21. And then my circle of friends actually changed, and then I got invited to a séance. I didn't even know what the word séance actually meant, so that was quite an interesting experience. And then I went through an experience at the séance, and I came away so thinking this is very strange and very weird, so I started doing an awful lot of research, looking at books and trying to find out, because I was looking actually for a very logical explanation of these experiences. And then as I started to do more and more delving into the subject, I started to realise my experiences as a child, other people had actually experienced very, very similar things. And I thought, I'm not alone. And then literally from that, I started to grow and I started to develop. And my confidence in the spiritual world then actually started to blossom. And I've been reading tarot cards, angel cards, crystal ball and palmistry for a long, long time, over 30 plus years. So that's how I got into the spiritual world, or should I say that's how the spiritual world dragged me into it. And that was my beginning. I'm based in Tamworth, and I'm actually also a qualified holistic therapist. So the two actually sit very, very well, because I'm looking at you as a whole person. I'm looking at how your mind works, how your body function, and how you are on your spiritual aspect. So the two actually lock into each very, very well. So in my therapy room, I also do my readings as well. So I can be contacted on email, on telephone, and also through the web. They are two separate parts of my life, but you can't help it when you're actually, going through a therapy with somebody. For example, I do reflexology. So when somebody presents themselves to me, and we go through their history and we go through everything that's been going on in their lives, and then they actually sit on the couch and we start to actually look at their feet, you can't help it, because the energy flow that starts to occur, you start to understand that person and what's going on within their lives, because their feet are also presenting medical, physical problems to me, but they're also presenting emotional problems as well. So again, we're looking at that as well. It is, that's what I say, it's holistic. It's the whole person on many, many rafts. And basically with that then we try then to help them to clear a path that they can walk through, not, physically, but clear their energies, clear their path, and allow them then to make the good choices that they can make in their own lives. What I'm actually doing is I'm working with your energy field and I'm locking into it, and it's very intuitive and very instinctive how I'm working, and I'm a very maternal type of person as well, so I'm trying to look after that person and make sure that we're getting them to the right place where they want to be as well. So therefore you've got to do it on a basis and on a raft that they also feel comfortable with as well. It's not always led by me, sometimes it's led by the client and what the client needs are as well. So you have to listen to what they're wanting and then take them through the path that's right for them. Right, how that actually came about is I live half of my life in Staffordshire and half of my life in Devon, and I've got a foot in both camps and relatives in both areas. And because I spend an awful lot of time down in Devon, my actual sister kept saying to me, oh, put on an event down here, put on an event down here. And I kept backing away from it, but then eventually I decided, you know what, I'm going to do this. So I actually went into this one venue one day, and we sat there having a cup of tea and having a natter. This is my husband and myself. And we came out, and as we started to walk down the road, my spirit guide literally stood in front of me. And then a physical person stood in front, and I couldn't get past, and I was actually physically blocked. And I actually turned around and I thought, I know what you want me to do. So I turned, went back into the actual venue, and I started to make inquiries about hiring the venue and the cost. Came away, did an awful lot of practical things, a lot of research to make sure that the venue would be suitable, and not just the venue but the actual area, and to see what other events were occurring around the area. After doing the research, I then decided yes, it's all right, and that's how the blossoming and the blooming of the Mind, Body and Spirit events in Devon came about. And we've got them running this year, and we support major charities at each of the events that we're doing. So, and we've locked them into the elements. So we've got one that's based on the element of earth, one that's based on the element of air, and one that's based on the element of water. Unfortunately, fire is happening at another venue, but we're actually supporting major charities that link into that. It is out there on the internet. You can also go to the venue itself, which is actually the pavilions in Exmouth. But on the internet, you can get it through the www.mbsspectrumevents.co.uk website. The information is actually on there.